Hello everyone, this is Shiv Prem, a legal intern at Lexis and Company and currently pursuing BLLB honors from Central University of South Bihar. In today's session, I am going to give an overview of space law. The whole topic is being divided in two parts. In the first one, I will go through the space law, and in the other part, I will be dealing with some challenges and some other aspects of the space law. So, let me start with the space law. Space law is a relatively a new field of public international law. Space law is a part of public international law, and much like other branches of public international law, space law is considered to be a combination of customs and treaties. With respect to the secondary sources of public international law, which was written under the Article 38, Clause 1 of Statutes of the International Court of Justice, no international court decision has been rendered, generating a new rule of space law. There is, however, literature that has elaborated many aspects of the relevant legal rules upon which the development of a space law could be founded. 1903 is the year in which a space law came into existence, and its other body came after that. One of the main reasons behind the space law is the industrialization, due to which new technology came into the knowledge of the peoples, and they started to utilize this new technology and started to invent new space related technologies. By the help of these technologies, the space race was started between the nations, which creates fear among the nations. So to regulate this space race, the space law came into force. Space law is relatively a new branch of law, roughly starting in 1957 with the launch of Sputnik 1, the first satellite in the space. Space law consists of international space law governing the activities of the states and international intergovernmental organizations like the National Space Law governing the activities of individual countries and their nationals. This thing basically started the involvement of the other states in outer space. The international community, in order to cope with the increased danger of military activities in outer space, adopted Resolution 17212 on 20th December 1961 to promote and safeguard the peaceful use of outer space. While UN became the important platform to discuss all the matters related to the use of outer space in the year 1958, an ad hoc committee was established. The ad hoc committee acted as an essential step for the development of the international space law, and only after 1 year its contribution was acknowledged with the establishment of UN Committee for the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, that is UN COPUS, as a permanent body within the UN. The Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space was set up by the General Assembly in the 1959 to govern the exploitation and use of space for the benefits of all humanity, for peace, security, and development. The committee was tasked with reviewing international cooperation in peaceful uses of the outer space, studying space related activities that could be undertaken by the United Nations, encouraging space research programs, and studying legal problems arising from the exploitation of outer space. The committee has two subsidiary bodies. The first one is the scientific and the technical subcommittee, and the second one is the legal subcommittee. Further, there were major treaties, mostly five treaties were there. By name, you can say the first one was Outer Space Treaty of 1967. Then the second one, Rescue Agreement of 1968. Further, the Liability Convention of 1972 and Registration Convention of 1975, and the last, the Moon Agreement of 1979. Now, let us discuss the Outer Space Treaty. The Soviet Union and the USA's space related activities initiated the creation of development of a space law, including customary law and the resolutions that were adopted by the General Assembly. These resolutions constitute the pre-contractual stage of a space law and reflect customary rules, as well as define the principles in which the embryonic state governing the exploitation or exploitation of outer space. These fundamental customary principles that were devised by the legal subcommittee of the UN Corpus are reflected and incorporated in the Outer Space Treaty. These principles include the principle of freedom of exploitation and use of outer space and the principle of benefit of interest of all mankind. Further, it consists of the principle of non-appropriation, the principle of using the moon and other celestial bodies exclusively for peaceful purposes, the principle of international cooperation and assistance, the principle of responsibility of national activities in outer space, and further there were the principle of registration of space objects and others. Basically, the rescue agreement of 1968 is the elaboration of article 5, that is the principle of international cooperation and assistance, which I have dealt further before in the principles. And the liability of convention of 1972 is the elaboration of article 7, that is the principle of liability for damage caused by the state's space objects. And further, the registration convention of 1975 is the elaboration of article 8 of the outer space treaty. That article 8, that means the principle of registration of space objects. Further, that's all from my side. Further, the remaining portion is being dealt in the second video. Thank you. And if you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.